just chat with him and let him know that you're looking for him. Now, you just need him on one band, is that right, Rich?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, just one band. See, that's tough, guys. If you have Colorado, Utah, that would have to be ground wave. Tell me what city you're in, Rich.
He's in Fountain.
You're in Fountain? Okay, and you might look at the map and see Lewis is in Heber City, Utah, and I'll try to get you guys together by email. All right, thanks, guys, for coming on here, especially to all of our moderators today who came in here and stayed. Appreciate it very much. As you probably know, K5VWZ has taken a job out of town. He's our 17-meter guru. He starts every day, and he loves it. He's only going to do it in the weekends now. He's taken a very good job, not too far from his home, but he can't come home every night, so he does it weekends. And thanks to all the other moderators. And tomorrow, when we come, we'll be a little later because we'll be on 10 meters. We'll be on 17, 15, 12, and 10. You can look at our schedule on hfqso.com. And tomorrow, our moderator on 10 will be VK4EKA in Queensland. So if you have any questions or you want to chat, you can go on hfqso.com, go to hfchat. You meet some really cool folks there and some weird folks also. And I'm not saying who that is. See you all later. W3FS, California.
570 is open, Bud.
Okay, it might be able to, if you want to go up there, John, at 28570, you might have to mess around with a whole bunch of SS guys, but if you want to go up, go ahead. I'm going to pass here today.
Hey, Bud.
Yes, who said that?
Florida and Pat in California.
Okay, try Pat in California.
Pat, Whiskey 6 ATC.
And Christy, I'll get you in a second.
Good afternoon. W6ACC, who is it?
5 and 9 plus 15, Oklahoma.
53, North Carolina.
57, Montreal.
55, Tennessee.
55, Central Alberta.
44, New Brunswick.
Wow. Oklahoma, New Zealand, North Carolina, let's see, that would be Massachusetts, Alabama, South Carolina, and Toronto. Thank you, guys. Good day.
All right, thanks for being there. Okay, bud.
Okay, hey, Christy, are you there in Florida? Hello, Christy, W7MIX, your turn if you're there.
5-9 plus 15 in Oklahoma.
5-6, Colorado.
5-2, Madera, California.
4-4, New Brunswick, Christie.
4-4, Christie, Central Alberta.
Whisper, North Texas.
Hey, good for you. Thanks, Christy, for coming on. Have a wonderful weekend. Ashant, you want to see if there's anybody else?
Sure. Is anybody else going to be candidate here on the show before we pull the plug? Anybody else?
Whiskey 4, November Delta, Kilo, North Carolina. Yeah, this is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. Who hears me?
5 and 9 plus 10, Oklahoma.
5
and 7, Montreal.
57,
5-7, Colorado. Where are you?
5-7 in Central Alberta.
5-9, New Brunswick.
Okay, thanks from North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, 73.
Hey, he's in Charlotte.
Anybody else that give me just like the ending like to share this? Southern California. All right, 5-7 coming into the west coast here. This is operating Sugar Hotel India. Who hears me?
5 and 9 plus 10 in Oklahoma.
5 and 8, Montreal.
55, North Carolina.
Audio, Madera, California.
2-1, Colorado.
5-7, Oklahoma.
I did. I heard everybody out there, east, west, north, and south, and it's good. I know today conditions are really good on the band, so thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend out there. KN6SHI.
Okay, great.
35 over 9 on peak, Sean. Boy, does that sound good. Bye-bye.
Here, K4 DBC, shake them up there, dude. See if there's anybody else. Okay, fine. I think Roger's gone, ZL1XR. So let's see. AE4TO. Hey, you awake down there? AE4TO. He's in training as a moderator, and he's a fun guy, man. He's ex-military, and he's got the latest equipment to get him, and he's portable. He's down there on the Mexican border of Texas, and he's got perfect, incredible internet, and he's just a great guy, and AE0TO is helping us a lot here. We have a lot of moderators, appreciate them all. And we'll see you all tomorrow. We'll try it again. HFQSO.com. Thanks. WSBFF here.
Take care, Bert. And Jim, let me see your signal on my Southeast beverage. I didn't go on that today, but I think you're going to be really strong.
Who is that?
Well, you've been 20 to 30 over depending on where you were, so zooming in here today. How you doing?
Phew, 40 over.
Yeah, Bob, it's been crazy, man. It's been up and down. You've been 20, 30, 40 over, and then take a dive for a minute. That's just the band moving around, I guess.
Yeah. It's nice when it's not so long, and it includes everybody in North America like it was today. If I didn't have them on direct path, I could hear them on scatter, so a very low loss band up here. Anyway, take care, W5 WSS. Bye-bye.
Everybody. AE4TT.
73s from North Carolina, the old North State.
73, everybody. KG5 ESC clear.
73, everyone. W6ATC, Madera, California, close.
Anybody want to hang around QSO? This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Are we losing the band? Are we losing the band? This is W4NDK, Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, North Carolina. CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ. CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ. Well, I'm going to go brave it up to 28,570 to see if any of the guys are in there from the activity group. I know that we've got the sweepstakes going on right now, so might not be making much many contacts there, but we'll give it a try. W4NDK clear. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Kilo Golf 5, Echo Sierra Charlie. I heard you pretty clear here in North Texas.
Oh, hey, Robert. Is it Robert or Rob?
Hey, it's Bob, but thanks for asking. And Nathan, is it your great signal here into North Texas? Not much conflicting right now. Back to you.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks so much. You got a good signal here, too. You're about a 5.7, North Carolina. Yeah, we spoke a couple of days ago, Bob. And I think you were doing a horizontal inverted V with 100 watts on an off-center fed. Is that correct?
All right, roger that, Nathan. Yeah, we did talk a couple days back on 17, so good to catch on a new band. Back to you, Nathan.
Yeah, thank you for the new band. I'm live streaming also. I don't know how much I'm going to get for the live stream with the sweepstakes going on, but just giving it a try. Bands are kind of slow today, but thanks for coming back to me. Do you think the guys went up to the 10-meter frequency they were talking about, or what?
Roger that, Nathan. You are a 5 and 7, and I believe you said I'm a 5 and 7, so good on you, Nathan, and thanks for picking me up.
Hey, thanks for coming back to me. I appreciate you being here. Were you on the activity group too?
Roger.
Okay, did they go up to 10?
No, the sweep's on this week, so anything but a work channel is pretty much snappy.
Yeah, I'll try to stay on 17 or 12 and see what I can get. All right, Bob. Thanks so much. Good to talk to you again. Thanks for coming in. 7-3.
All right, 73, Nathan, in Holly Ridge, North Carolina. Whiskey 4 NDK, KG5 ESP, 73.
Yeah, KG5, Echo Sierra Charlie, 73 from Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. I'll see if I can get anybody else out here, if that's all right. Call some CQ, over. CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ.
Victor Echo 7, Alpha Oscar Alpha.
Victor Echo 7, Alpha Oscar Alpha?
That is correct. The handle here is Jerry, and I'm up here in British Columbia, Canada.
Well, hey, Jerry, you're doing really well. You're doing great here on 24,970. Appreciate the contact. Give me a little more audio, and I'll give you an accurate report, over.
Okay, let's see now. The weather up here in Creston today is raining with some snow mixed in. So over to you.
Okay, you're getting about a 5.4 here, 54 in North Carolina. What is my report, Jerry?
You're about a 5.3 here in Creston, British Columbia. Traditionally, my outgoing transmit reports are higher than my receive reports I can give. My antenna transmits better than it listens, over.
QSL. What kind of antenna are you using?
I'm using ground-mounted butternut HF high frequency 10B, 10B. I have coverage from 160 meters through to 6 meters on this one antenna.
Okay, you running barefoot?
I'm running 200 watts. I'm riding a Fox Tango 1000 MP barefoot, 200 watts into a ground-mounted vertical.
Okay, it's working for you. Excellent. I'm running Yaesu FTDX10, 100 watts with a homebrew doublet antenna made of soda beams wire and using chopsticks for spreaders. Over.
Okay, well, you're doing well. You're doing well with that wire antenna. I would like to put up some wire antennas, but I do not have any room here on my lot.
Oh, I understand. I got you completely there. I got you. A lot of people, I'm on a corner lot. Luckily, we have a bunch of trees, so we have a lot of trees to work with here in North Carolina. Well, you sound really good, Jerry. Nice to meet you. You're on my live stream, and it's Go Amateur Radio. Go Amateur Radio, Roger.
Okay, if you want to locate me on a map, look at the state of Idaho. Idaho has a finger of land that shoots north towards the Canadian border. I am 6 miles from that intersection point. When I look out my living room window, I look directly into the state of Idaho.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. We'll be up in that general area for the holidays. We'll be in Montana. Well, sounds good. Sounds like you live in a really cool area. It was a pleasure contacting you, Jerry. Thanks for coming back to my CQ call. And if you want to hear your audio, go listen on my channel. Over.
Okay, I'll do that. And Montana is right next door to Idaho, so you'll be in the neighborhood. 73.
73. Nice to meet you. That's Victor Echo 7 Alpha Oscar Alpha Jerry. Jerry, he is in Creston, and he is directly north of the Idaho finger portion on it. If you look on the map, he's in Canada. 73 Jerry from Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo.
73 for now.
QRZ. CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ and standing by. CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ.
Nathan, KG5 ESC, I spotted you. Let's see if you can't get some pickup.
Oh, awesome. Great. Excellent. Thank you for your help, sir. I really appreciate it, Bob.
No problem, Nathan. Good luck.
Thanks. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. All right, 73.
All right, 73.
CQ. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. CQ.
Before the band in the QSB takes you, November 1, Papa Golf Fox.
November 1, Papa Golf Fox?
November 1, Papa Golf Foxtrot, N1 PGF, Archie in New Hampshire. How you doing today?
Hey, Archie. I'm doing well. You are booming in here. You're 10, 15 over 9. Over?
Yep, and it just went one way. You just fell right into the mud. You've been 5'9" for the past 10 minutes up here, Roger.
Okay, QSL, yeah. Too bad that happened, but we'll give it a try. Thanks for coming in there, Archie.
Man, I can't believe it fell out that fast. It's not a bad day, a little chilly, a little windy, but it's fall in New Hampshire. It's all right.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle used to live in New Hampshire, and they also lived in Rhode Island. They moved up to New Hampshire in the 90s. Well, 73, November 1, Papa Golf Fox, thanks for coming back to my CQ call. From Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. That was Archie in New Hampshire. Great signal, and then it fell out, so and I don't think he can hear me much. 73, Archie.
I'm going to
73's Archie.
2-2 in Southeast Texas, Archie, KE5FN. It's working.
K5FM, can I get you in my log?
Sure, what the heck? This is Kilowatt Echo 5, Foxtrot November. Name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. I'm in Southeast Texas. How copy, old man?
Hey, young man. Nate here. I'm in Charlotte. You're 5'9", 10 over. Doing well. What are you running?
You're about 5'7" here. I am running an ICOM 7300 like half the rest of the world. About 600 watts into a 3-element Yagi at 72 feet, pointed at New Hampshire. So I could tune it up a little bit for North Carolina, but not necessary. You've got a great signal.
Oh, great. Well, Jim, you're booming in here. Were you on the activity group?
Not today. I typically show up for the second shift for 12 and 10, and of course with sweepstakes they only did 17 and 12, so I showed up a little late to the party today.
Yeah, I know that the deck controller's down near you in Southeast Texas. Are you near Houston?
Yeah, I'm about 70 miles west of Houston. I am one of the moderators. Sergeant Tom is about 60 miles south of me in Sargent, Texas, and we usually have at least four Texas stations on. There's somebody up in North Texas, and sometimes somebody in Conroe. So pretty easy to get your Worked All Texas badge.
Yeah, that's a Roger. I just had a sister-in-law move down to Houston area, so I'll get down there sometime. There's a lot of hams in that area. Hey, you sound really good there, Jim. Do you want to take the frequency for just a bit? I forgot to take my medicine. I got to go do something for my asthma. Over.
I tell you what, my asthma and COPD got a million times better when I moved out to the country. I had lots of issues. I lived off that purple disc, the Advair, and my albuterol puffer and whatever. So yeah, go do whatever you need to do to take care of business. W4 NDK, I'll get it straight, from KE5FM 73.
Yeah, it's Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo KE5FM. Thanks. I'm running the live stream on this. I hope you don't mind, but I could just leave it open for just a bit. I'll be back in probably 5 minutes or 5 or 7 minutes. Over.
My life is an open book. You can live stream me. You can whatever. Anyway, go take care of business.
Okay, 73.
Live stream. What was your call sign so I can look it up?
Oh, sure. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo.
Okay, Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Thank you. I'll look you up here on, I'm assuming it's on YouTube. WA5JIM. Jim, down here in Sugar Land, Texas, near Houston.
Yeah, and you sound great. All y'all around Sugar Land and Houston sound great. WA5JIM, right?
That's correct. That's correct, and that's the name.
Okay, name is Nate here. If you look it up on my call sign on YouTube, you should find it. Or you can also find it if you just search Go Amateur Radio.
Go Amateur Radio. Okay. Well, we'll look you up, and we'll be in here for a while. We just came up to the band here to mess around, so, and don't need to go anywhere. I got plenty to do all around me. WA5JIM.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the meds for the asthma, and I'll be able to talk a little better on here. Thanks for giving me a break, and y'all have fun, and check out the live stream and listen to how you sound. It's excellent. CQ, 73. I'll be back in just a second. Anybody want to chat on here, go ahead. It'll be on the live stream. 73, Whiskey 4, NDK.
And WA5JIM standing by. I think I'll take this situation and do a little quick audio test while you're off doing your what you're doing there, Nate. WA5JIM testing audio 1212 via YouTube. Over.
W5W sugar. And this is W5W sugar, standing by.
W5W sugar. This is Victor Echo 9, Juliet Tango. Do you have any copies?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Are you
Yes, I am, but there's a delay of about 10 seconds. I'm hearing you on W4NDK's live stream, but I'm not hearing you on my antenna. Over.
Oh, okay. I understand now. I didn't know what was going on. Sorry about that. Well, I guess if you're not copying on the antenna, it's not working too great, which I've been kind of afraid of anyway because it was not really made for this band. And I'm running it through a tuner and probably degrading things quite a bit. Anyway, I'll let you go and we'll talk again another time. W5 WSS VE9JT.
Okay. I've got 4 beverages, and I was on the Southeast beverage, and I switched it around to the Northeast, and I can hear you on direct without the delay. Go ahead.
Okay, what kind of signal do I have?
Yeah, I'm in Oklahoma, and my name is Bob. Over.
Roger, Bob. I'm in Southwest New Brunswick. Name is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and I'm right
on this beverage.
Right across the river from the state of Maine. Over.
Yeah, on this beverage, you are 5 and 9, no trouble at all. Over.
Oh, very good. You're 5 and 9 here as well. So I'll let you try to make copy some other stations, and thanks for picking me up. W5 WSS from VE9JT. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, and all the best from Oklahoma. W5W, sugar, sugar. 73. K5SEU mobile, go ahead. Okay, Sebastian, thank you. Your mobile's working great. You're 5 and 9 plus a little bit on the beverage receiving antenna. Over. K5SCU. Okay, Sebastian. Well, very good. It's working very well for you, and it's cloudy and overcast here. We're expecting a frontal passage with thunderstorms later this evening, I think. Anyway, all the best from W5W, sugar, sugar. 73.
W5JSU, WA5JIM here in Sugar Land, Texas, near Houston. Wanted to let you know I've got your mobile at 59 plus. Over. All right, Callsign Whiskey Alpha 5, Japan India Mike, and the name is Jim. Over. Oh, no problem. Well, we're actually on a YouTube channel right now. W4 November Delta Kilo has his YouTube page, and his radio is displayed, and I can actually hear you coming through it as well as my own signal, and then the other gentleman. Quite a
okay, Jim.
That's it.
Not sure if Sebastian finished with you.
WA5J, I am clear.
Yeah, I don't know whether to wait for the delay or go live.
Yeah, I can't hear you direct. I mean, I hear you, but I can't pull you out. But I can hear you on W4 November Delta Kilo's YouTube channel. And yeah, he's completed. He's signed off. Over.
Oh, how about that? Okay. Well, I'll just do it this way. I can hear you on direct path on the Southwest Beverage. So just so you know, I do hear you without the, the web. I sure can. Yeah, that's the feed point for all four of the beverages. I really didn't take a picture of the wire sloping upward to 10 feet and then going out to termination. It's about a 2 to 5 ratio, isolated double winding transformer. Okay, Arch, I was just listening. I need to turn that off because that's just really cool. But there's a delay. Yeah, Arch, it's like that on all four of them, and then they just go up. They slope up. The sloping length is 16 feet. I need to turn that off. Turn this off. Okay, that's off. Yeah, the sloping distance in feet is 16 feet. That's just how it worked out. And then it's held, that's probably at about a 45-degree angle. Then it's held parallel to the ground all the way out to the end, where it slopes again 16 feet to the resistor and the ground rod on a non-insulated piece of pipe. Oh, yeah. If you have to pick a direction, maybe you pick southwest because you like to talk to Roger. I know you can do all that with transceiving with your transmit antennas. So, but it might really be real cool for you to listen to Roger with it. Yeah, super quiet. There's a lot of things that I don't say because of, what's going on the band and everything. But When I tell somebody it's on backscatter, it means that the direct path beverage is not hearing him. None of the other beverages are hearing him except for, like the one over in this example, the one looking over the Pacific, which would be the Southwest beverage. And I don't hear them at all either on the transmit vertical. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, the reports I give are a little bit inflated because of the beverage. I'm sitting at, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 or 10 dB below 0 dB on receive and on the beverage, and I can turn on the preamp. I turn on a 18 dB preamp that's a module that I installed in the transmit antenna push-to-talk switch. So when I'm receiving, if I give you a 40 over, it's because you're really 40 over, but with 18 dB. Right, but these beverages present kind of an equal amount of signal as the ground-mounted vertical with 60 radial. That's without any preamps and doing a lot of A/B switching. I used a very low-loss feed line, as you can see in that photograph, and I think that's important. A lot of people think, oh, I can go buy some cheap RG6. Well, I mean, can anybody look inside the RG6 and check what the construction is? How much copper's on the steel clad? Would it work on 160 with skin effect? Probably not. So I went with the very low loss RG11. Over. Well, you can, the transformer that I described to you is built into the Bravo Fox Sugar -1 from DX Engineering, and that's what you're seeing in the photograph with stainless steel U-bolts and an insulating section of pipe for the isolation. Don't put the BFS1 on a steel pipe driven into the ground. You'll lose the isolation. But you know, if you can get it embedded into the topsoil or something strong enough to hold the strain of the wire, you can just use a non-conductive pipe and you know, U-bolt with anything to that if that's what you wanted to do. But I put if you really zoom in, you'll see a number 14 dropping down to a ground rod right there. Yeah, so I brought the 4 feed lines. All the beverages are about 20 feet apart for good isolation and separation. I don't want the beverage hearing the other beverage a little. I want the beverage only. When I'm on the Southwest Beverage, I don't want any mixing going on. So you separate the 4 beverages by about 20, 25 feet, and then run the RG11 along the ground, make sure it's burial. And then I went into an entry box on the outside, and I put big copper plate and mounted all of the lightning protection and all that in the entry box. I came out of the entry box and went into a box that's on the inside, and they're back to back. And then I come out with the 4 feed lines, and then I go to a switch. So the transmit receive box is automatically switching to the vertical when I talk. But I can select any of the 4 beverages and or the vertical, for separate receiving and for transceiving on the vertical the way I got it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do okay, it's a bit of a compromise on transmit. I'm close to legal limit, but not quite. So there's lots of guys that transmit with a lot more effective radiated power, but I have fun, especially in this scenario with the net being all over the place. Over. Yeah. Okay, Arch. Well, I've got the mechanical alpha delta switch right next to the operating position. So I just reach over there and I can switch it a hell of a lot faster than it takes to rotate. Over. Yeah, I was thinking about a hex beam for transmitting in place of the vertical, but this is 9 bands, and I do quite well into Mozambique down at 3795. I listen to Bill with the beverage, and I transmit with the vertical.
W4NDK.
Yeah, I mean, it's very quiet. Signal to noise ratio is superior to the vertical. Although there are a few times, not that often, when I'm just listening through the ground mounted vertical, where the ground mounted vertical, I guess because of phase shift,
You'll get confirmation on QRZ or Logbook of the World if you upload there, Royce. Go ahead. Yeah, okay, Royce. Anyway, thanks for the contact. Be safe, have fun, and thank you. This is Victor Echo 7 Whiskey Juliet, QRZ 12 meters.
Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo.
Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. This is Victor Echo 7, Whiskey Juliet. The name here is Al. That's Alpha Lima. I'm in North Vancouver, British Columbia, a suburb of Vancouver. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, Al. You're doing really well here. Name is Nate. This is our 4th QSO, third one on 12 meters. You're 5'9" here in North Carolina.
Yeah, you're also 5'9" back to me, Nate. You're sounding fantastic out of South Carolina today, and boy, it was raining earlier here today, but it's cleared off now. It looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. We are at, let's see what the tip is, 68 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Do you mind if I try my second antenna and give me an AB?
Roger, Roger. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the W5GI mystery antenna. The W5GI mystery antenna. It's a dipole fed with coax. Over.
Well, you send it back to them and tell them there's no mystery to it. It's down about 15 dB.
Yeah, roger that. Well, now I'm on the antenna that's fed with homebrew ladder line. Over.
Yeah, it's a little stronger.
Yeah, okay. All right. 15 dB. Thanks very much. Is that like 2S units, 1S unit?
Yeah, about 2S units.
2S units. That's what I usually get. Thanks very much. You had a contact in there, Al.
Yeah, I'll pick them up. I'll pick them up when I'm through with you, Nate. Go ahead.
Yep, roger, roger. Well, you're sounding real good here, Al. I'm streaming on my YouTube, so if you want to hear your audio, you can hear it on Go Amateur Radio. Over.
Well, I'll try it later today. Will it still be there?
Yeah, it'll be there. You can just rewind a little bit. You'll see how bad I look. Over.
Well, that's okay, Nate. If you could see me, you'd see how well. You can see me if you go to my QRZ page. There's a picture of me holding a 25-pound king salmon.
I see it. I see it. Yeah, it's up here. My logging software pulls up your photo, so I see that king salmon. That's an awesome fish.
If you scroll down the page there, you might be able to see my log periodic as well.
Yeah, you got a 10-element log periodic.
That's a Roger, and I love it.
Yeah, I wish I could put one of those here in the city. They would call the police on me.
Well, my wife, when I had it sitting on the backyard there on 2 step ladders, my wife looked out the window and she said, "My God, it takes up the whole backyard." And I said, "Well, dear, it won't look as big when it's 50 feet in the air." And guess what? I slept outside for a week.
But you're back in the house.
Well, I talked my way back in. It took a while, but I did.
You're a good talker.
Well, yeah. Anyway, she just loved amateur radio. All she had to do was open the basement door and yell my name, and there I was.
Yeah, my wife likes that. When she needs something done around the house, she knows I'm not far.
Yeah, I think it's very good, and yeah, that's when we really started to grow closer, when I was spending more time at home. Go ahead.
Yeah, it keeps me out of trouble. Keeps me out of a lot of trouble, but I'm in my 50s. When I was in my 20s, I didn't have enough patience for amateur radio. I love it now. I love it.
Well, I turned 77 in September this year, and I don't feel old yet. I can still fight and hold the light, Nate.
All right. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Keep it up. Hey, thanks very much, Al. You sound great. Thanks for the 4th QSO, and it's fun to chat a little bit. Thanks for letting me put you on my live stream. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Nate. I'll go back and have a listen to it. I know that people tell me this.
Hey, Nate, where are you going to go now?
Pretty good. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. QSL. Yeah, I didn't catch your last thing, but somebody has asked me where I was going to go. I'll probably just go up 10. I'll go up 10. Over.
Okay.
Roger, Nate. Have fun, and we'll see you.
See you later, Al. That's Victor Echo 7, Whiskey Juliet, Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo, clear.
Yeah, 7-3, Nate. This is Victor Echo 7, Whiskey Juliet.
I think somebody's already here. I might just go back up to 70 or somewhere.
Okay, if you want to head back up to 70, we'll meet you up there. WA5JIM.
That's a 5/8 wave, over. Okay, Bob. Well, thanks for the call. I'm going to go ahead and, shut down now. But thanks for the call from Hawaii. And you're nice and strong. It's working very well for you. This is Whiskey 5, Whiskey Sugar Sugar, signing with KB6, EJA, Portable Hotel, Kilo Hotel 6, W5W, Sugar Sugar. Aloha, bye-bye. I got Kilo Baker 6, Echo Germany Alpha Portable King Henry 6. Do I have the prefix right? Okay, 7-3. Thank you.
Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo.
And Whiskey Alpha 5, Japan, India, Mike.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, I got a little bit more breath in me now. Thanks for that break there. I was listening to you talk about your beverage antennas, and wish I had a little more land here. Over.
Okay, hold on just a second. W4NDK.
Hey, Nate, I'm going to bail out on you right quick, but I wanted to let you know
That's
when you switched your antennas down there, you went from a 5.9
I
plus
was just waiting for
to about a 5.8, so that was a difference, 5.8 to a 5.9 plus.
And
anyhow, 7.3s and good luck with your YouTube and W4, November Delta Kilo. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Japan, India, Mike. 7.3s, Nate.
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 5, Japan, India, Mike. Thanks for holding it for me. And I think I heard Whiskey 5. Was that Whiskey Sugar Sugar, Bob in Oklahoma?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I didn't know I was doubling.
No, I was listening to both of you. Somehow, I think I was able to kind of process what both of you were saying. And Jim was holding it for me. And Bob, you sound great. You're always the guy that saves me when I'm out sitting in the oyster beds with my QRP rig, and I actually can make a contact with you. Over.
Yeah, you come through here great. I didn't realize that you were out in a boat on the oyster beds, but or whatever that is. But glad that I could, that's your report. Whatever I give is what it is.
Yeah, that was a while ago, like a month or so ago, and then I also did it in July in the summer, and you came back to me. I put it on my YouTube channel, but yeah, it was awesome to hear you. You got a great sounding station. So does Jim. And Jim, if you're still there, thank you for holding it for me.
Oh, that was no problem. No problem at all.
There's a guy in Hawaii
I'm always interested in that. We're running the same radio, by the way, the FTDX10. I've had it about 8 months now. I just love this
radio. That may be getting a little irritated, but W5WSS signing.
Yeah, W5WSS. Is Hawaii? Did you say Hawaii was still in there?
Yeah.
Oh, is he chatting? I'll move up 5.
No, I think he's done, but there was some people that wanted to call him, but they didn't realize I was just holding the frequency for you.
Oh, no, that's okay. I want to give room for Hawaii. Can you still hear him?
Yeah, let me see. KB6 EGA, are you still here? Okay, stand by. Yes, he's still here.
Okay, I can barely hear him, so I'm going to go up to 975. Roger.
Okay, and maybe I'll see you there, but I'm trying to have something to eat here. The station, Bob in Hawaii, near the Hilo Airport. This is your frequency. Enjoy the pile-up. Bye-bye.
It's Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. I went up to 975 because 970, there's a guy in Hawaii, KB6 EGA, who I couldn't hear. I wanted to give him a chance to have his pile up and make some contacts. There's a lot of folks that need Hawaii. So if you want to talk to him, he's at 24970. and I'm on my YouTube channel, Go Amateur Radio. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo standing by.
And WA5JIM, I followed you up.
Roger, Roger. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. And yeah, I got the antennas checked, and the doublet obviously does better than the dipole.
Yeah, well, you went from a 9 plus down to an 8, a solid 8, and then back up to a 9 plus. So a good comparison. Over.
Yeah, I guess there's not that much of a difference, but it's enough to break through. Maybe I don't have anything like you guys have, but yeah, it's no use in using the weaker one unless it gets out better. It gets out better to Iowa, to Kevin in Iowa, Kilo 0, Kilo Lima Bravo, but everybody else hears the doublet better.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the orientation, but definitely there's a difference there that I noticed. And it was interesting to see my own signal coming across the radio you're using, which is the same radio I have here. And I was kind of curious to see what the oscilloscope and the AF was showing up, and it was interesting. I haven't been able to do that yet until today, so thank you for that. Over.
Yeah, no problem. I think it definitely gives people a little more information on their audio. If they have RF or something, the oscilloscope's going to show them it's not going to be as clean. What else would I be looking for in the oscilloscope? I'm, a four-year ham, so I don't really know much about using these things.
Well, that's okay. I'm learning every day. WA5JIM back with W4 November Delta Kilo. Yeah, I'm only on a hex beam that's 15 feet high in my backyard, Nate. I'm in a homeowners association, and they can't see the hex beam from the street, and I don't have any neighbors behind me. So that's what I've been running here for 9 years, and it's a really nice antenna to use. I really enjoy it. It's very quiet. Over.
Yeah, I'd like to put one up. Although I'm on a slight hill, so my back neighbors behind me would be able to see it potentially, and you could probably see it from the road. If I planted bushes on the side of my house in the backyard, then I'm on a corner lot, then it would be probably work fine. I've thought about putting one on the kind of 10-foot tall treehouse that I have. Over.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea, because you have the advantage of having the. Yeah, you could actually do a lot with that. That is a good idea. I tell you what, the hex beam, resembles a clothesline, so you could always throw a couple of pairs of socks and maybe a few pairs of underwear out there, and your neighbors won't say anything. Over.
Roger. Yeah, that I could think of some practical jokes I could play with that, with like giant underwear that you get at the t-shirt shops at the beach. Yeah, that would be cool. So you're running that. What kind of hex beam do you have?
November Alpha 4 Romeo NA4RR down in Florida. I was here when I moved here. I went from 3 towers to nothing, and I tried the wires. I don't have the real estate for them, so they didn't work well at all. I tried verticals, too much noise, and somebody suggested a hex beam, so I started looking around how they were built, because I like to build my own antennas. I always have. And I couldn't put one together for less than this guy was selling them for. So I called him up and told him my situation. And he says, I can't promise you anything, but he says, I can say it's going to be a lot quieter. I can be sure of that. And he was spot on. Yeah, it's November Alpha 4 Romeo. You can find him on the internet, his storefront. Over.
Yeah, I think I've looked him up before or heard other people talking about it. I'll take a look at it. That's a good idea. I would love to have one of those. I think the ice can affect them. Got to be careful about that, or snow. But as long as you take care of them and don't put them in too much high wind, they're fine. Well, that sounds good. Thanks for holding the band too, by the way. And yeah, I'm just trying to see how things work. So you have a FTDX10 also. I'm trying to figure out how to do a video capture card. If you noticed on my YouTube channel, I'm just putting a camera in front of my monitor. Over.
Yeah, I see that, and actually I think that's fine, but I understand about catching it. Be careful with it, because as you know, or maybe you didn't hear, but the FTDX10 and the FTDX101 both have issues if you try putting any type of voltage back into the video card. Blows the fuse out of it. So like the output on the back of mine is, what's that connector called? I've gone brain dead. But you know what I'm talking about. The DVI. I went ahead and found a monitor that had DVI input and used that because they say going from the DVI to an HDMI input can blow the fuse in that little card, and it's not the kind of fuse you can replace. Over.
Yeah, roger that. I think the HDMI's put out that, one of those pins puts out some power. Yeah, I've heard of that. I have a DVI-D to DVI-D. Luckily, I think my YL had some old monitors from her office that they gave away, so I used one of the old ones with the DVI-D cable. And if I capture it, I got to figure out how some of the other guys on YouTube are capturing their Yaesus without, inputting power into the back of their radios. So I'll figure that out. And I won't do it until I'm 100% sure that's not going to happen. Over.
Yeah, well, now, Nate, if you go from DVI to DVI, it shouldn't matter. So you're going to put it into a hub is what you're going to have to do. You're going to go DVI out of the radio to DVI into the hub, and then from the hub, it should not be a problem to jump across. But you know what? I can't tell you that for sure, but I think it would be fairly easy to do because you're only looking on a pickup is all you're picking up, and you're inputting that into a video. Well, there you go. Well, no, you're not in a monitor. You're going to be putting it into a video feed into your PC, so you should be fine. I would tell you to call Yaesu, but then you'd have to wait until probably Christmas of next year before you get an answer to any questions. Over.
Yeah, I forgot the guy's name in Orange County, but he's been helpful to me in the past. And there's also the FTDX10groups.io. Yeah, the hub is what I've been looking at, DVI-D to DVI-D in the hub, and then USB out to the PC. But those are $160 to $200 for those hubs with DVIs. And I'm trying to see if there's somebody else doing it another way. If not, I just won't do it. I think the camera is fine. There's just a little glare sometimes because I don't like to sit in a dark room. Over.
I don't either. I'm sort of cornered in the. I'm in an open environment here. I'm not in a room. I'm fixing to do a bunch of work in the garage and convert the garage into another room is what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's. I understand what you're saying, and I think it's kind of neat. The delay is something you have to deal with. I'm curious, what type of internet source are you sending the signal through? Over.
It is going out to Wi-Fi, and our Wi-Fi locally, I use some wireless routers from a company called Deco, or a Deco brand, and then it goes to, it's about a 250 meg internet connection, the speed through Spectrum Internet. Over.
Yeah, well, you're going to have a couple of delays there. What I did, Nate, is I picked up Starlink about a year and a half ago, and I've been using it ever since because I trade on the stock market during the daytime, and I can't afford outages. And when we had Comcast here, and they would just have outages out of the blue. It was really irritating because not only did they have the outage, but after the outage, they'd send you an email telling you there would be an outage, but it would arrive after the outage occurred. So that didn't help at all. Over.
Yeah, they feel like they got a monopoly, and they don't. So once they start feeling the pain, they'll stop doing that. Yeah, I'll take a look at Starlink. A little more expensive than what we've got here. We've only had maybe one outage during the day in the last 2 years here, just because we're in a banking city, and they raise pure cane. Well, they are putting Google Fiber and AT&T Fiber into our neighborhood. So I think we got fiber over to maybe the CO, and then and some fiber in the neighborhood, but I think it'll be a purely fiber network. I used to sell fiber to businesses only, so we would bring in gigs and promise, 5 nines and all that stuff. But yeah, Starlink would be great, but I think it's going to be $150, $200 a month, maybe more, right?
No. I think it went down $20 here. So I'm down to about $117 a month. And my highest speed is around 250 megs. But anything over 50 megs is more than you will ever use. I can tell you right now. People are often misunderstand that, and it took me a while to figure it out too, but there's never a point where you will need more than 50 megs of speed. We have several TVs. I've got a teenager, a college student still at home. You know how much data she's going to be using. My wife can be watching the TV in her room. I could be watching the TV in the front room and running my computers. And I can't tell the difference between 150 and 50 or 20 most of the time. So you don't have to worry too much about how much speed you get. With the Starlink, what I like is if I go directly into the Starlink instead of going through my Wi-Fi, it cuts out almost all of the delay. And that's how I do the trading. So I don't have that 2 or 3 or 5 seconds of delay. And I get it down to about 1.5 seconds at the most. Over.
Oh, cool. So does the Starlink go into a hub or a router, and then you run that to your PC through Wi-Fi, or do you have a Starlink adapter on your computer that somehow uses some kind of high-speed connection to the dish on your roof?
No, the Starlink comes with a router, and I have a Cat 5, or technically it's called a Cat 7, but I don't think it's any different than a Cat 5, but anyway, run directly to all of my equipment. The only thing I don't have, the only thing I use on Wi-Fi is the phones and the iPads. Over.
Okay, so they have their own router. Roger that. Okay, pretty cool. Well, I'll take a look at that. And where do you put your receiver, your dish? Is it on your roof it faces the southern sky, is that correct?
No, at my location it faces the northern sky. And I don't know how many trees you have around in your backyard, but what you can do is go to Starlink, their website, go into check my location, and then take your cell phone, and you're going to use your cell phone to contact the Starlink website, and go out back, and you can aim it up the sky and turn it all the way around. It'll tell you what to do on the it's using your camera. And it will tell you what obstructions are in your way and what direction to point your antenna, so you know before you order it what you're up against. I have mine about 17 feet high in the air on a pole, and it's just, aimed off toward the north. And now, I will tell you this, if you get heavy thunderstorms, you will get an outage during the thunderstorm. But I always know that's coming, so I can prepare myself for it. And it's not much of an outage. It's like DirecTV, but a little bit better. Over.
Okay, QSL. I think the only challenge I would have here is an incredible number of trees in my backyard between myself and the northern sky. I can hardly ever see anything in the sky when the leaves are in. I must have 30 trees around here, and they're all 75 feet tall. Over.
Yeah, well, to me that sounds like heaven. Not for the Starlink dish. I'm not sure how that's going to work for you, because if you don't have, but the Starlink dishes are so small now that, that 12 by 10. The smallest one's 12 by 10 inches. Ours is probably, I want to say, probably 20 by maybe 14. But I'm not sure about that, so you'll definitely need to check your location. And it's easy to do on the app. You don't even have to get the app. Just go directly to Starlink and you can do it. But it sounds to me you've got wire antenna heaven right there in your yard. I live in a place where if a tree gets 20 feet tall, the birds get nosebleeds. Over.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I've got wires strung all around my house, and I got a 2-meter 440 antenna, repeater antenna about 70 feet up mounted on a poplar tree. And I've got 2 doublets and 1 W5GI mystery antenna. I was going to put up a big loop. I used to have a 40-meter delta loop. So I've got wires all over the place. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect. Do you have a room to hide a hex beam?
I could put it on that tree house, and it would be hidden if I plant landscaping bushes between myself and the side road, because we're on a corner lot. I think it would work there. I would just have to have the YL give me some okay, and I have to cut down some branches from some of the trees all around there that they wouldn't allow me to put it up unless I cut down those branches. They'd get in the way. But, I got trees everywhere. But, yeah, that would probably work for me. Or I could put it on top of my shed in the backyard. I got a 20-foot shed. It just wouldn't be as camouflaged on top of the shed. Over?
Yeah. It's not very visible. I will tell you that. I'm looking for it, so I see it every time, but most people don't even notice it for some strange reason. I've even had people in the backyard didn't even know it was above their head, and it's only 15 feet high to the top of the antenna. When I first put this thing together, Nate, what I did is I took a pipe, an 1.5 inch pipe that I have and had forever, and I drove it into the ground about 1.5 feet, and I built the antenna on that. So the antenna height, the top of the antenna was about head height for me, so I could work on it. And I went in and operated it that night and the next day, and it operated just as good at 5 feet above the ground as it does at 15 feet above the ground. It's just a heck of an antenna. If you think back about it, back in the early 80s, we had and these antennas were being made long before that, but I heard about them in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was the cobweb and the spider web antenna is another name for them. And I built quite a few of those out of all kinds of different stuff, bamboo, and they always worked good. This is the same thing as the hex beam, but the hex beam, they elevated the individual bands, and by doing that, they made it directional. So it's a very interesting concept. Over.
Yeah, I've always wanted a hex beam. I've watched a lot of videos, done a lot of reading on them, and it's the ideal antenna for me. So I'm going to make that a goal of mine. It's not so much the radio, it's the antenna, but yeah, they are pretty cool, and I've looked at the Buddy Hex. Those would be nice. I could put it up portable, could put it on a push-up mast, but once it's up, I don't want to have to take it down.
Well, in your area you have ice and snow, and I think you do. I'm not sure. You're on the coast, so I don't think you would have much, but you might. But I've never had any issues here with this one. It's been up there 9 years, and I've done no maintenance on it. None whatsoever. I just go up and check the connections and make sure everything's tight, and that's it. So, you don't need to have to go bailing into some, $1,500 hex beam, heavy duty and all that. I don't really think you need to. It's a hex beam, and the only way you can really change it is by making it heavier built. If you were way up on the East Coast, like up in New York or, Maine or Delaware, someplace like that where you get a lot of ice, then I'd worry about it. But I don't really think you're going to have issues with that. He makes a good antenna, and he's a square guy to deal with, and I appreciate it. When I call, I get an answer. Over.
Okay, QSL, good. Yeah, and I have a second house on the coast. That's where I get my mail, and I'm about 200 miles west of there, so that's why I have so many trees where I am. Over.
Oh, okay, I see it. Well, I'd love to have the trees. Gosh, I'd be running wires everywhere. It's gone nuts. I just don't have them here. We don't grow good trees in this part of Texas. And the tree that was the tallest was in our front yard. And this is an interesting story for you. I'm sitting out there, and my Jeep has a fiberglass hardtop on it. It's a Jeep Wrangler. And I'm sitting there doing some paperwork, and I hadn't pulled it in the garage yet. And it was raining really hard, so I was thinking of leaving it out there and let it drip off before I pull it in the garage, because you get all that water on the floor. And then it started really raining hard, and I heard little specks of hail hitting, so I said, okay, I'll pull it in the garage. I can always squeegee off the driveway. And I pulled it into the garage, and just when I put it in park, in the rearview mirror, I saw this green flash. And the tree had fallen, a pretty big tree for our area, had fallen directly where I would have been sitting in the front seat. It collapsed right onto our driveway. Over.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That scares me, because these trees around me are poplar trees, and they're historically very soft, and I had one that fell down and smashed my aluminum fencing I had to replace. Did it destroy your car, or you get a new one right away, or what happened?
No, I got in the garage. I got in the garage just in time And I, just out of the corner of my eye, I saw all the green leaves and stuff in my rearview mirror, and I turned around, and the tree sitting in the driveway where I was at, and the wind was blowing. I mean, it was going hard, 60, 70 mile per hour gusts. But that tree had, lived its lifespan, and I guess the root base had weakened, but it was a big mess. It made a hole in the front yard that was 3 feet deep over.
Oh, man. Okay, so you'd already pulled the car into yeah. Well, that kind of stuff happened a lot up here. You saw the news probably 70 miles northwest of me in Boone, North Carolina, near Mount Mitchell and Asheville. That happened everywhere. And if you saw K4SWL's, he does the blog posts and stuff. Thomas, his car got smashed twice, so it's done. Over.
Yeah, that's done. I have no doubt at all that would have hurt me severely, because that fiberglass top was not going to hold the weight of that tree. There's no way. And I was sitting right where I was sitting in the front seat is where the higher part of the trunk landed. So, yeah, that might have been my last day. I'm glad I decided to pull it in when I heard the T-side L hitting. I kind of thought about it for a second. I said, no, let's just pull it in the garage. And I mean, as soon as I pulled it in, so yeah, that day I definitely had someone watching over me.
Yeah, I don't want to get too theological here, but I call that a God shot.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, that was something. Then I was stuck. And then I told the wife when she came home, she couldn't put it in the garage, and because there's a tree in our driveway. She said, what do you mean there's a tree? And I said, our tree's in the driveway now. So, but I just got out the chainsaws and went to town, and then paid someone to haul it all off. Then I filled it in. Boy, what a mess. But yeah, that was my only really tree. I'm down to 2 fuzzy trees in the backyard, one on each corner, and they're about 12 feet high, and that's it. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, all my trees are leaning away from the house slightly. I had all the branches trimmed away last year, and I'll take another look at them after this conversation. But I have, by the way, in-laws live in Mont Bellevue. Do you know where that is near Houston? Hey, Jim, we lost the band, Jim. We lost the band. Lost the band completely. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't even hear you anymore, Jim. Okay, Jim, I'm going to sign off. I got to go get some stuff done. This was fun. I'll have to hang around, chat with you again if we're not doing the activity group. Thanks for your information. You've helped me out. It's good to have some Elmers like you. So 73, maybe I'll meet you guys sometime when I'm down in Houston area. 73 W4 NDK. Hey, the sun is not cooperating with us right now. The sun is, the ions moved away. Uh, 73, Jim, it was a pleasure, and I hope to catch you again. Victor Echo 7, actually, Whiskey Alpha 5, Juliet India Mike. Whiskey Alpha 5, Juliet India Mike. Jim, pleasure to chat with you again, and thank you guys for always kind of bailing me out when I'm QRP, standing in the oyster beds trying to make a video, and the activity group always catches me. 73, have a good evening, Jim, and pleasure. Yep, I see your text. I see your chat there in the YouTube channel, 73. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Unless anybody else is out there, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I got to start moving some furniture for the YL. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. If nobody else is out there, I'm going to start moving some stuff. 73.